Welcome to TechView's 10X. Today, we're putting a highly anticipated device right under the microscope. We're going to answer the ultimate question. Is the incredibly fast, brand new OnePlus Pad 4 actually worth buying? We're taking all the benchmark data, the real-world performance tests, and the critical reviews, and distilling them all down into this definitive explainer. We'll cut straight through the marketing noise to show you exactly what this premium Android tablet gets right, and more importantly, the glaring areas where it falls completely flat.
Here's a quick look at our agenda. We're going over what the Pad 4 is all about, the major pros, the productivity features, the frustrating cons, and of course, our final verdict.
Section 1, meet the OnePlus Pad 4. This is a massive challenger stepping into the high-end tablet ring.
Okay, so right off the bat, the physical design here is just wild. We're talking about a 13.2-inch unibody aluminum beast, right? But somehow it is incredibly ultra thin, 5.94 millimeters. That's literally barely thicker than a USB port. And it only weighs 672 grams, which makes it remarkably well balanced for something this size. Plus, it comes in this new Dune Glow color. It's basically this really sophisticated soft coffee brown, and honestly, it looks and feels so premium.
All right, Section 2, the undeniable pros. Let's get into the hardware and battery.
We got to talk about this battery. 13,380 milliamp hours. That is absolutely huge. It's actually a 10% bump from the last generation, but cleverly engineered into a chassis that's thinner than last year. In the real world, you're looking at up to 20 hours of video playback. 20 hours! And when it finally does die, you get 80W SuperVOOC charging, which basically juices this massive battery from 0 to 100 in just under 2 hours.
And performance-wise, absolute dominance. Under the hood, you've got the flagship Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip. The benchmark numbers speak for themselves, scoring over 4.16 million points on AnTuTu 11. It's totally destroying competitors like the Xiaomi Pad 8 Pro. And because they improved the vapor cooling chamber, you can game or multitask for hours on end. And it just doesn't throttle. It handles the heat like a total champ.
Then there's the screen. It is gorgeous. A 13.2-inch, 3.4K resolution display with a buttery smooth 144 Hz refresh rate. OnePlus pushed the brightness up to 1000 nits in high brightness mode, so you can actually see what you're doing outside in the sun. But the real secret weapon here is the 7:5 aspect ratio. Instead of the narrow, widescreen layouts you see on a lot of tablets, this square ratio gives apps, documents, and web pages so much more breathing room. Scrolling feels incredibly fluid.
Moving on to Section 3, productivity and accessories. Let's talk workflow.
Now, if you want to truly maximize your workflow, and hey, quick side note, make sure you head over to techviews10x.com to start or grow your business online with tech and AI. You absolutely need stellar software. The Pad 4 runs OxygenOS 16, and the crown jewel here is Open Canvas. This is a total game changer for productivity. You're not boxed into clunky split screens anymore. You can actually run up to 5 apps at the exact same time, extend them way past the physical boundaries of the screen, and just swipe around seamlessly. It seriously feels way more like a flexible desktop environment than a traditional Android tablet.
To really nail that laptop replacement feel, OnePlus brought out a fantastic new suite of accessories. The new Stylo Pro features a crazy 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, and it comes with interchangeable tips so you can customize the friction. But the coolest part is for sure the haptic feedback. You squeeze the edge of the stylus and it vibrates to confirm your click. Pair that with the new Smart Keyboard, which rocks this Apple-style floating cantilever design and big, spacious keys, and you are totally ready to work.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Section 4, the frustrating cons. Let's look at the real deal breakers.
Okay, so despite being this massive powerhouse, there are some totally baffling omissions for a premium 2026 device. First off, absolutely no fingerprint scanner. None. You either rely on Face Unlock, which, let's be real, really struggles in the dark, or you're manually typing in a PIN code every single time you open it. Second, no 5G cellular option. You are forever tethered to Wi-Fi. Third, the screen is great, but it's still an LCD. At this premium price point, not having an OLED display for those perfect inky blacks is definitely a letdown. And finally, they moved the connection pins, so all your expensive old Pad 3 keyboards are completely incompatible with this new model.
When you stack this up directly against something like the iPad Air M4, the whole total Android hardware dominance argument hits a bit of a wall. Apple still holds a major edge when it comes to real-world practicality.
The iPad Air M4 gives you a convenient Touch ID sensor right there in the power button. Plus, you can get a cellular model so you can work securely from anywhere without draining your phone's hotspot. These are the everyday conveniences that power users actually care about.
Which perfectly brings us to the overarching sentiment we are seeing echoed across the tech community. Reliable, just not new. The hardware on the OnePlus Pad 4 is phenomenally solid, yes, but honestly, in daily use, the upgrades from the previous generation are practically invisible. A Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip sounds absolutely incredible on paper, but if you're just answering emails, watching Netflix, and typing up documents, it's going to feel exactly the same as last year's Pad 3.
All right, the moment of truth. Section 5, the final verdict. Is it a buy or a pass?
So, weighing it all out. On one hand, you have literally world-beating performance, stellar battery life, and that phenomenally flexible open canvas software multitasking. But on the flip side, you are trading away standard flagship stuff. No fingerprint security, no cellular connectivity, and no OLED display. Oh, and a quick warning, the base model drops you down to just 8 GB of RAM, which reviewers have pointed out is a massive bottleneck if you want this to replace a laptop. If you buy this, you pretty much have to spend the extra cash for the 12 GB version.
So here's the definitive verdict. The OnePlus Pad 4 is a must-buy if you are getting your very first premium Android tablet and you want a reliable, blazing fast device with great battery life. However, it is an absolute must-pass if you already own the OnePlus Pad 3. The upgrades are simply just too subtle to justify the price jump. Which leaves us with one big question for you. In 2026, does raw, unadulterated processing power matter more to you than everyday conveniences like a fingerprint scanner and cellular access? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. If this helped you make your buying decision, please subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video as it helps the channel.